Hello students, in the last class we have learned about the wall of anther. Today I am here to deal with the next topic, and the next topic is microsporogenesis. So let us begin. Microsporogenesis, it is defined as the development of haploid microspores from diploid microspore mother cell or PMC, that is pollen mother cell. This microsporogenesis is defined as development of haploid microspores. What do we mean by haploid? N. What is N? That there is only one set of genome. When they develop as haploid, from what they develop? They develop from diploid, 2N. They have two sets of genomes or two sets of chromosomes. From microspore mother cell, which are also known as PMC, pollen mother cell, through which cell division? They develop through meiosis. Clear with that? The cell division is meiosis involved in microsporogenesis. What is the location? Where does microsporogenesis takes place? Microsporogenesis takes place in microsporangium. Where does microsporogenesis takes place? It takes place in microsporangium, which is also called as future pollen sac, which is also called as future pollen sac. Am I clear with that? Now in this microsporangium, what is present? In this microsporangium, it is filled with sporogenous tissue. Microsporangium is filled with sporogenous tissue. Homogeneous cells. They are all homogeneous, one type of cells. Clear? These sporogenous tissue, they filled up the pollen sacs inside the pole anther. The sporogenous tissue fills up the space, the chambers in the anther. These sporogenous tissues, they directly acts as MMC or PMC. The sporogenous tissues which is present in the microsporangium, okay, they are all homogeneous cells which undergo division. These sporogenous tissues, they directly function as MMC, microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell. So the question arises, what is the ploidy of sporogenous tissue or PMC? The ploidy of sporogenous tissue or PMC is diploidy. They are diploid cells because they contain two whole sets of genomes. Am I clear with that? I am again repeating. Microsporogenesis is the development of haploid microspores through meiosis from diploid microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell. Clear with that? This microsporogenesis takes place in microsporangium, which is considered as future pollen sac. Remember one thing. There are two types of terminologies. Immature anther, mature anther. Immature anther, microsporangium. Pollen sac, mature anther. and pollen sac in the mature anther. Microspores, developing microspores, immature anther. Pollen grains, mature anther. Clear with that? So the space where does it takes place, the location is microsporangium. This microsporangium is fully filled with sporogenous tissue, mass of homogeneous cells, and these cells, they directly act as pollen mother cell or MMC. Now this is sporogenous tissue. In this sporogenous tissue, the cells, they start dividing. That means when the number of cells increases, what we will decide? We will decide that growth take place, or growth is the ultimate phenomena due to which the number of the cells in the sporogenous tissue is increasing. As the growth progresses here, because the number of the cells starts dividing and increasing, the sporogenous tissue start functioning as PMC. Now this PMC or MMC, it undergoes meiotic division, and we know that there are two meiotic division, meiosis 1, meiosis 2. When PMC undergo meiotic division, it results into the formation of 4 haploid microspores or 4 haploid pollen grains finally. Am I clear with that? One PMC, which is 2N, undergoes meiosis 1, form 2 cells, undergoes meiosis 2, form 4 cells, M1, M2. What we have done in meiosis 1? We have reduced the ploidy from 2N to N, one set of genome. What we have done here? We have multiplied the number of N cells. N, N, N. Clear? So from 1 to N, 1 PMC, how many haploid pollen grains are formed? 4. The arrangement of these pollen grain is called as microspore tetrad. They are present in the group of 4. Therefore, the word is tetrad. These microspores, tetrad or pollen grains, they are found mostly in 2 arrangements. The first arrangement is tetrahedral, and the second arrangement is isobilateral. I am talking about the most common arrangement seen in most of the angiospermic species. For this microspore tetrad is tetrahedral and isobilateral. Am I clear with that? Again, sporogenous tissue starts undergoing growth and maturation. As a result, the number of the cells increases. When the number of the cells increases, sporogenous tissue differentiates and function as PMC. This PMC, it undergoes meiosis 1, meiosis 2. As a result, it forms 4 haploid cells. And those 4 haploid cells, they are called as microspore tetrad or pollen grains. They are present in a group of 4, that's why the name tetrad. Am I clear with that? And the arrangement of the tetrad mostly seen in the angiosperm is the commonly arrangement seen is tetrahedral and isobilateral. Am I clear with that, students? Now let us talk about the arrangement I told you that the most common arrangement seen is tetrahedral, like this. We can see the arrangement of the pollen grain like this. One is at the back side. This is the tetrahedral arrangement. We can see one more arrangement. The arrangement is isobilateral. Just understand the term. The term says isobilateral. Iso, same. Bi, two. Lateral, side. That means two pollen grains on each side. Can you understand? One more arrangement is seen. It can be linear also. Okay. There are some species like Cuscuta. In Cuscuta, this microspore tetrad or the arrangement of the microspore is seen as many as 11 microspores in a single time. What I said, that when PMC divide, 4 microspores are formed, but there are some species of the angiosperms where at a time maximum number of microspores formed are 11. How many? 11. And the example of that is Cuscuta. Now the last part of the topic is dehiscence. Okay, what is dehiscence? Dehiscence means bursting out, maturing and releasing of pollen grain. Remember one thing guys, that in dehiscence of anther, okay, mostly endothecium has a major role to play. I'll tell you why. And all the pollen grains which are present in the tetrad, all the pollen grains which are present in a tetrad, they are mostly functional. That means they have the capability to fertilize. Clear with that? So let's see dehiscence. As the anther matures, it grows in size and differentiate. Do you understand? As the anther matures, it grows in size and differentiate. When it differentiates, it also undergo drying up due to loss of water. It loses water, it dries up. Clear with that? And we have seen line of dehiscence in the middle of the anther. We have seen a line of dehiscence. Now this line of dehiscence goes deep inside. Okay, this line of dehiscence disintegrate, and when this line of dehiscence disintegrate, it grows deep inside. At this particular time, we call that this anther is dithecous. But in our NCERT it is mentioned because of the presence of two theca, anther is dithecous. So one more explanation I am giving you. When the anther mature, this line of dehiscence deepens up inside, giving a very clear view of the anther, two thecas of the anther. And at this point of time, we called our anther as dithecous. Am I clear with that, children? Now what happens? Now middle layers disintegrate, tapetum is involved in the development of the pollen grain. Now comes the endothecium, which is already dead. Now this endothecium, because its hygroscopic nature, it dries up, it contracts. And there are places on the anther where this endothecium is absent. And the places where this endothecium is absent, they are small pores, and we call them as stomium. Again I am repeating, this endothecium now comes into play because its major function lies here, that is dehiscence. Endothecial cells are already dead because of the cellulosic thickenings, right? Now this endothecium is absent at some places in the anther. Now wherever it is absent, those create small pores or stomas, and we call those places as stomium. Now due to loss of water, this dries up. When it dries up, due to high temperature and pressure condition, increase in the cell size of the pollen grains, there is a pressure develop. When the pressure develop, anther bursts out, and when the anther bursts out, the pollen grains are released. So as the anther ripens, what am I saying? As the anther ripens, okay, endothecium shortens. Endothecium shortens means it undergoes various cracking. Suppose you have a raisin, right? I'm giving an example. We have a raisin. When we keep it in water, it swells up. But when the water is not there, then you understand? Same happens with endothecium. There are various linings develops on the wall layers of anther, and due to that, anther ruptures. As anther ruptures, pollen grains are released. If it is not released, they are present on the tip of the anther, and when you touch them, you can feel a powdery substance. Am I clear with that? This is all about microsporogenesis, children. If you have any doubts, you want any types of notes, you have any suggestions to give me, do let me know. Your comments are welcome in the comments section. Thank you very much. In the next class, I am going to deal with the structure of the pollen grain. Thank you, children.